Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, teachings of Queen Kunti, chapter 19. We're continuing. So we are discussing about different aspects of bhakti, Shavanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. We discussed yesterday. We talked about this concentration. One can control the senses and concentrate the mind on the form of Krishna. This concentration is called samadhi, and we also discussed how by just simply absorbing ourselves in hearing about Krishna with mind and senses focused on the Shravanam, that also is samadhi. The next pose of devotional service is Archanam, worship of the deity, the form of Krishna in the temple. Sri Vigrahara Dhananityanana Shringara Tanmandiramarjanado. It is not that one should worship Krishna once a week or once a month. Rather, one should worship Krishna 24 hours a day, Nitya. The deity should have a new dress every day. New dress meaning like we should not make the deity wear the same dress as yesterday. Or twice or four times a day. As many times as possible. Hmm. This is called Shringara. Hmm. So those who are attracted to Shringara. So at least dress has to be changed once, if not twice or four times a day. Why? Krishna is the most opulent enjoyer and we should supply him things by which he can enjoy. In fact, in Goloka Vrindavana, Krishna changes dresses multiple times. So that is Shringara. And this is all just Krishna is giving opportunity for devotees to serve him. For instance, if someone gives me a new clothing, I say, oh, this new clothing is very nice. And this is my enjoyment. Mm. Actually, Prabhupada is here is not referring to a fresh dress. It's actually referring to a new dress. Why should we interpret? He's saying deity should have a new dress. And similarly, we should try to satisfy Krishna every day with gorgeous clothing. The dress for the deity should be first class. The food offered to him must be first class. The place where he is situated in the temple must be first class, or even more than first class. Mm. And as devotees, we should always be trying to do this, right? So we should always try to give everything first class. For ourselves, we can be in whatever condition Krishna wants, but for Krishna and his devotees, everything must be first class. Furthermore, the temple should always be as clean as glass. Look at this. As clean as glass. Everyone remarks that the temples of the Krishna consciousness movement are very clean and they must be very clean. Unfortunately, we don't focus much on this. Uh, Actually, it is a duty of devotees to clean the temple. We should not get paid people to do this. It's very important because as much we clean the temple, so much our heart will get cleaned. So we put some processes in, at least in our preaching areas, before the Sunday feast at least, it is fully thoroughly cleaned. And of course, if worship is happening every day, then it has to be cleaned every day, right? So it must be very clean. At least once in a while, fully, like nook and corner should be clean. See, the more one cleanses the temple, the more one's heart becomes cleansed. And so it's a very simple process. The heart has to be cleansed. And so fortunate when I came to Jagannath Mandir many years back, first time. I didn't know anybody. And I was fortunate, I was given the seva of actually washing vessels in our old temple. And today I realized that actually that also had such a great impact. I didn't know. Just somebody said, "Can you clean?" I said, "Okay." Right. And then actually sweeping the temple, mopping the floor. This was the seva. Right. So, and it has its own, power. Cleanses the heart. And only then actually we will develop desire or purity or taste for hearing. So this is very important. Like Prabhupada always used to say that Maharaj Prataparudra used to sweep the floor in front of Jagannath on Rath Yatra. So we should do this. It's very, very cleansing. Even that is why we encourage devotees to clean our vessels, cooking vessels or prasadam vessels that we would have got. We encourage devotees to clean. Nobody is there. Finally, a few of us only will do. Some Matajis will take up the service. But the idea is newcomers should engage in these services. We should not simply just, you know, like, we should not remain guests in Krishna's temple, right? We are his servants. But of course, we as, people who are, who are mm, organizing services, etc., we will treat them as guests and we will treat them nicely. But people who are coming should not think themselves to be guests. They should think themselves to be servants. But we who are hosting the programs, we should treat them as guests, right? And that is when it will be very nice. People will want to come to our places and they'll also engage in services and they'll get cleansed. I've heard that in some places, none of the services are done by devotees. All services are paid. I said, like, what kind of a devotion is this? I mean, why are you running a center if you want to pay and get everything done? And no devotees are in. They just come like guests, sit, go. That's all. Even like, decorating the altar, everything is like somebody has to do, paid for. It is not devotional service. This is just abhasa. It's just semblance. It just looks like devotion. That's all. The more we dress Krishna, the more satisfied we become. This is for people who are engaged in this service. They know, simple. Wanted to, if we want to offer something, maybe new dress, new curtain, new something, everything. It just, we become so satisfied. At the present moment, we are accustomed to seeing and appreciating our own clothing. And this is everybody wants to, oh, festival means so nicely they come dressed. Yeah, I think what costly clothing I have. And in this way, I become satisfied. I become satisfied by my own clothing. But when we dress Krishna, we shall feel spiritual satisfaction. So this is me looking at my own clothing, material satisfaction. When we dress Krishna nicely, we shall feel spiritual satisfaction. That is all the difference, right? When the same activities are done for the pleasure of Krishna, whatever we experience is spiritual. When we do the same activity for ourselves, it is material. Yuktasya bhaktamscha niyunjutopi vande guru Sri Charanarvindam. The duty of the spiritual master to engage his disciples always in worshipping the deity in this way. And it is to such a guru uh, that we offer our obeisances. By the word Srinvanti, Kunti Devi indicates that our first concern should be to hear about Krishna. One must be eager to hear. Why do we pay a college fee and go to college? To hear. By sitting down and hearing from the learned professor, we get knowledge. Therefore, a devotee always engages in hearing about Krishna. For those who are cultivating Krishna consciousness, the first business is hearing. So clear. And if one has actually heard about Krishna, one's next engagement in Bhakti Yoga will be to chant Gayanti. The preachers of the Krishna conscious movement go from town to town, village to village. Why? What is their purpose? To preach, to chant, so that people may get the opportunity to hear this philosophy and take it seriously. Grinanti. Hmm. So once we hear, we have to engage in chanting, repeating it. Prabhupada is talking about Krishna conscious movement preachers going from town to town, village to village. We are not even going within our town only, we are not going anywhere. that is of not much use. So to preach, to chant means giving people will get opportunity to hear the philosophy and take it seriously. This is important. So yeah, we might say stories, etc., but we also have to give philosophy. Unfortunately, people think philosophy means no, no, not required, but it's an art to present philosophy. You can you can present it in such a way that people can understand, accept it, find connection, or that it is relevant to them. Relevance, they should understand. When they understand relevance, then they'll take it seriously. Hmm. So it's always, I find it very effective when I go and ask people what is the goal of their life, and everybody says happiness. And I say, have you found happiness? People say no. And he says, here is the process for finding happiness. So they find relevance. They feel, oh yeah, yeah, this is what is important for me. So we have to see how we can connect with people. Different preachers have different ways to connect with their audience. But the idea is to present philosophy in such a way that it is taken seriously. If you simply give some nice katha and then come off, yeah, okay, that's okay, as long as there is a follow up and there is some approach to preaching philosophy. Otherwise, it's simply just entertainment. People will, yeah, they'll get some benefit, but they're not going to take anything seriously. And why Prabhupada is taking seriously? Why not? It is fun. And today that's what we are trying to do. No, mostly we are trying to do this. We want to give fun. We replace this word seriously by fun. They should come to our programs and they should feel happy and nice. So don't say anything heavy. Don't say any philosophy. Let them come back again. And then they'll come back again. Again, we are not saying anything serious. Again, they come back. Again, nothing serious. So then finally, Krishna consciousness becomes some kind of, oh, this is nice. Nice to do. Of course, it's nice to do. But if we understand philosophy, only then we'll know really if what we are doing is actual bhakti or not. Hmm. So outreach can be light, not heavy, right? But cultivation has to be heavy. And today, unfortunately, that outreach is also light. Subsequently, cultivation is also light. Everything is becoming light. Guru means heavy. So we have to teach, give them what Prabhupada has given in his books. They have to take it seriously. Even today, I see so many initiated devotees coming to temple in pant and shirt. I just wonder. They're just not taking it seriously, and they're initiated. Oh, how unfortunate. People say, okay, I've gone to work. Okay, no problem. We don't have like a small temple. We have so many places where you can go and change. You just need a will. You just need to know that you just cannot come in pant and shirt into the temple, especially if you're initiated. I mean, unless you have like some serious, yeah, you're just not able to manage it at all. How difficult is it? Especially, I'm just talking about Prabhus, right? Like just carrying one dhoti and kurta and changing it anywhere in the temple. How does it matter? We're just not serious about these things. We think it doesn't matter. We think this is all external. No, Krishna will be seeing, oh, what is this? These people don't even want to dress like what I want them to dress. My devotee has so nicely taught. These people are not following. Of course, I mean, for Mataji's, I definitely say whenever we are coming to the temple, okay, on a daily basis, maybe you don't want to be in sari or Vaishnava attire, that's okay. But temple, festivals, Sunday programs, I don't know why this is not taken seriously. It's a very simple, basic rules, basic rules. Actually, more than rules. That's why when you say rules, then people say, I don't want to follow. Krishna likes it this way. Let's put it that way, right? Because that's why Acharya has come and taught us to dress like this. So we don't want to please Krishna. A simple thing. The word abhikshana shaha indicates that these engagements should go on continuously 24 hours a day without stopping. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore recommends Kirtaniya Sada Harihi. One should engage in chanting 24 hours a day. That is the business of Krishna conscious devotees. But of course, we know that Pranadapi Sunichena is the foundation. If you are not humble, if you think we are, actually this not humble means being on the bodily platform, basically, right? When you're on the bodily platform, we will not think about Krishna, we'll think about ourselves, our own capability, our own position, everything ours. So how can we think about Krishna? Simple thing, right? Like suppose say somebody is in trouble and but he thinks that he can himself manage everything, then he's not going to take Hari's name. He's going to just, oh yeah, I have to go here, I have to do this, I have to call this person. That will be just in me, my consciousness. That's all. When are we going to think about Krishna? But one who is humble and feels helpless, he will call out Krishna's name. And that is the business. That is our business. And then we can progress further to say, okay, I don't even want to call Krishna. I don't want to disturb Krishna. I don't want to engage him in my service. I want to serve him. So I'm not going to call out to him, but I'm not going to call out to anybody else also. I'm just going to depend on him like a child. That is, ad, I mean, further advancement. See, but it's very important to understand again, like yesterday, what I was saying, whatever we feed into our heads, right? That's what will come out. So if we are feeding a lot of garbage into our heads, then only garbage will come out. Garbage in, garbage out. Right? So if you feed in Prabhupada's books into our heads, then it will be first class. Like Prabhupada has given everything first class. So let's try to follow whatever Prabhupada is saying. Our life will become perfect. One may perform all the methods of devotional service or may accept only one. Simply hearing is enough. Parikshit Maharaj did not do anything else but sit down before Shukadeva Goswami and hear for the last 7 days of his life. Can we sit and hear for 7 days continuously? It's such a big thing. It might sound so easy. It's not easy. I mean, half an hour, 1 hour we give class, people will be like dozing. Like Parikshit Maharaj is going to die. He's not even eaten. And he's asking so many intelligent questions throughout the narration of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is why he achieved perfection by just Shravanam. If we do this kind of Shravanam, yes, absolutely. My Guru Maharaj, Hidodani's Bhakti Vikas Maharaj organizes Shravanam Kirtanam camp. 3 days of just Shravanam and Kirtanam. That's it, nothing else. So starting from morning program, Mangalarti, and to Shayanarti. In the middle, some 2-3 hours rest will be there for devotees. Apart from that, whole day it is just Shravanam and Kirtanam. It's either, it's Arti, Kirtanam along with that, or classes, some, and different uh, disciples of Prabhupada, etc. They come and talk about various topics. And just Shravanam for 3 days. And I've seen it's a big austerity for many devotees. They just can't sit. They'll say, "Oh, I thought we came here to see places." They can't hear. They can't sit and hear. It's an austerity. If one simply hears without doing anything else, if one simply sits down in the temple and whenever there's a talk of Bhagavad Gita, one goes on hearing, that will be enough. So this is very important actually. Oh, sorry. We should we should give opportunity for people to hear Bhagavad Gita. Actually, Srimad Bhagavatam, uh, yeah, we should have Srimad Bhagavatam, but normally we should have two classes. Sunday feast class should always be Bhagavad Gita because so many new people come. Then for the other devotees, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Every day there is Bhagavatam, right? But we should do Bhagavad Gita on Sundays. Because so many devotees are new. Even existing devotees, they don't understand completely Bhagavad Gita. And we should give more opportunities for people to hear Bhagavad Gita, other books of Prabhupada, etc. Even if you do not understand, please hear. See, the same thing. Even if you do not understand, please read. No problem. Whenever the time comes, whenever the purification happens, we will understand. The vibration, the mantra will help you. Just the transcendental sound, it will help us. Grammatical or scholarly understanding is not very important. Not very important. One may not know Sanskrit grammar, but bhakti is apratihata, unimpedable. Nothing can stop it. Nothing can check the progress of bhakti. Therefore, one should simply adopt this process of hearing as recommended by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the renounced order of life, he was criticized by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, whose father had been a school friend of Neelambara Chakravarti, the father-in-law of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's father, Jagannath Mishra. By this relationship, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was on the level of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's grandfather. Thus he said to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you're a boy, only 24 years old, and now you've taken sannyas. Sannyas is very difficult to keep because for a young man, the world has so many attractions. So you should hear Vedanta Sutra. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya belonged to the Mayavada school, and this indicates that hearing is important even among the Mayavadis, who stress the importance of hearing Vedanta Sutra. The Vaishnavas, devotees of Krishna, also hear Vedanta Sutra, but not from the Mayavadis, who falsely interpret it and spoil the process of hearing. The Vaishnavas actually hear Vedanta Sutra because they do not interpret it. When Krishna says, I am the Supreme, the Vaishnavas accept it, and that is the proper way of hearing. If one speculatively interprets the Vedanta Sutra or Bhagavad Gita saying, the word Krishna means this and Kurukshetra means that, one is simply wasting one's time. One should hear this literature as it is. That's why, like I did hear speculation, I corrected myself, right? Like Prabhupada said, new dress, and I changed it as fresh dress. But actually, this is mental speculation, right? So we should restrict ourselves from doing that. So immediately, if we are sincere, the correction will come. Automatically, it will come. We will not interpret. And that is a very important aspect of reading Prabhupada's books, is not to interpret. So again, I'm just telling this for your understanding. We might read one statement, like for example, nothing can check the progress of bhakti. Now, if you just simply read this statement, we will not be able to understand everything about this statement. But we should understand, okay, see, fact, what is the fact being mentioned here? That nothing can check the progress of bhakti. This much we should understand. Now, what exactly it is, etc., we will understand when we actually read Prabhupada's books again and again. Then there will be more aspects would have written about this elsewhere, and then this understanding about this statement, nothing can check the progress of bhakti, will become complete. But before reading, if we now start speculating, nothing can check the progress of bhakti, and add our own notes to it, right? Mm, Commentary to it, that will be speculation. So we should read. That is why we should read again and again. We should read. Then we can completely understand every statement that Prabhupada is saying. With the help of other statements he said about the same topic elsewhere in his books. That is the right understanding, right way of understanding Prabhupada's books or statements that he's making. So again, I'm repeating, by reading some statement and not having a complete understanding of that subject and saying something about that subject is mental speculation. Reading about something, reading more about the same thing from other books of Prabhupada, and then getting a complete understanding of that topic is the right way of understanding, right? So when without reading we say something, it is mental speculation. We should not speculate. Hope that is clear. Thus, although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agreed to hear Vedanta from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he simply went on hearing it for many days but did not ask any questions. Finally, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said to him, my dear boy, you are hearing but you do not ask any questions. Why is this? Is it that you can't understand? What is the reason you are silent? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answered, yes, I understand, but I am silent because you are explaining the Vedanta Sutra in a speculative way. Therefore, I am simply listening to the verses of Vedanta Sutra but not actually listening to you. Thus, he indirectly said, you are explaining the meaning foolishly. Later, he said, the verses of Vedanta Sutra are just like sunshine, but your explanations are like clouds that cover them. And this is mental speculation. And people can't actually figure this out. So, we should understand that what is the difference between mental speculation and actual philosophy. If it is said by acharyas, previous acharyas, then it is actual philosophy. If we are saying it without any reference to previous acharyas, then it is mental speculation. That's all. That means that then we will cloud the actual meaning. No one needs a lamp to see the sun. Everyone can see it. But if the sun is covered by a cloud, it is very difficult to see. Similarly, Vedanta Sutra is like the sun, but the Mayavada interpretations cover the real meaning. The Mayavadis never accept the direct meaning. Even big political leaders who are influenced by the Mayavada philosophy cover the meaning of the Vedic literature by speculating. Kurukshetra means this, Dharmakshetra means that. So we should not do this. Like there is a word, accept it as it is. Don't have to interpret. Prabhupada says interpretation is required when the meaning is unclear. When Kurukshetra word is there, why do we have to interpret it? We know that Kurukshetra is a place, so we just take it as Kurukshetra. Pandavas means Pandavas. Why should we then say our senses are like Pandavas, this, that, and all that nonsense? Our policy, therefore, should be to hear the original as it is. Then it will be effective. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Vishnu should be heard as he is. Then one can meditate upon Vishnu and remember him, Smaranti. But if we do some speculation, then we will meditate on the speculation. Then it won't be Vishnu, it will be Vishnu speculation. Then it won't be effective. In this way, one becomes jubilant, Nandanti. See, Krishna consciousness is happy, jubilant. People are excited. The word Nandana means pleasing, and one comes in touch with the desire of pleasure in this way. Yeah, I mean, example was yesterday's festival at our temple, Jagannath Mandir, Veshatripuram. I mean, it was just out of the world. Literally every aspect was so amazingly transcendental. Right? So this is Krishna consciousness. And we were discussing thing that where did so many people come from? More than temple authorities did not expect so many people, so many devotees coming. Mm. And we were discussing, no, absolutely, it is that way because actually we in our temple we are so sincere. We want to do everything so nicely that Krishna Jagannath just sends. Jagannath simply sends. In other temples they have coupon system for prasada. What nonsense! I mean, how can somebody come to Jagannath and take a coupon? So I'm very happy. Like our management is very clear that this is what our sampradaya is. Give mercy. Mm. So people just come because they feel the happiness, they feel the love that they're shown. So they'll come. And this is the pleasing atmosphere Prabhupada talks about. We have to create this pleasing atmosphere in our temples. Of course, that doesn't mean that we don't say philosophy. It doesn't mean that pleasing and philosophy don't go hand in hand. Of course, it is. They go hand in hand. But we should do both. We should give philosophy, but at the same time, on the Vyasasan we hammer, and then when we are off the Vyasasan, we take care of devotees. This is the process Prabhupada taught us. Prabhupada was so heavy on the Vyasasan, but as soon as he came out of the Vyasasan and when devotees are coming and talking about him, about themselves, their problems, this, that, and all, he used to be very, very considerate, understand their position, and give them recommendations which he would not even speak about on the Vyasasan, which are suboptimal. But he can understand based on individual devotees that yeah, they can't do that, they can't accept it, so he'll give a lower level. Right? So both are required. Devotees have to know where they have to go to, but at the same time, when they have a personal situation, they should be handled with care, you know, with compassion. Therefore, those who are cultivating Krishna consciousness have to hear about Krishna, speak about Krishna, deal only in relationship with Krishna. By this process, Kunti Devi tells the Lord, one will one day come to see you. See, one will one day come to see you. That means we'll achieve perfection. We'll go and see Krishna. And when one sees God, Krishna, what is the effect? Bhava pravaho paramam. Pravaha means current. When there are very forceful currents in the river and some animal is thrown in, it will be washed away. Similarly, we are being washed away by the currents of material nature, which come one after another like big waves in the Pacific Ocean, because we are under the grip of the three modes of material nature, Prakriti, Kriyamanani, Gunai, Karmani, Sarvashaha. We are being washed away. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Mayara Vashe Yacha Beshe Bhese. You are being washed away, carried away by the currents of material nature. These are the currents of hunger and thirst, of birth, death, old age, currents of illusion, mainly. Mostly people are stuck with this moha. We are spirit souls, but because we have been put into material ocean, the currents are carrying us away. However, if we engage 24 hours a day in hearing, chanting, and seriously serving Krishna, the current will stop. Please note, it's not 2 hours a day, it is 24 hours a day. Current will stop. So we have to come to the stage where we will end up doing 24 hours bhakti. Otherwise, the current will not stop. Material current will keep on going. Where will the current stop? Kunti Devi says to the Lord, Padam Bhujam. It will stop at your lotus feet. So when we do 24 hours a day, which means we are at the lotus feet of Krishna, so the current will stop. One has to learn how to see Krishna's lotus feet and offer a little tulasi and sandalwood pulp. at the lotus feet of the Lord, and this current of material life will stop. We have to come to the lotus feet of Krishna. That means we have to come to surrender to Krishna, follow his instructions, surrender to the Guru. There may be currents in the ocean, but if one gets a good boat, one can cross over the currents very nicely, as mentioned in another verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Samashritaye pada pallava plavam. A lotus petal is something like a small boat, and therefore this verse says that if one takes shelter of the petal boat of the lotus feet of Krishna, the great ocean of birth and death becomes as insignificant as the water contained in the hoof print of a calf. In India, during the rainy season, the roads become muddy, and when the cows and calves walk, they create holes in which water collects. But of course, one can simply jump over a dozen of such puddles at any time. Similarly, although for others the world of death, birth and death is like a great ocean, for a devotee it is like such a puddle, bhavam budir vatsa padam, and he can jump over it very easily. In this way, the devotee attains param padam, supreme abode. Then what about the material world? Padam padam yad vipadam. That this is a place not for devotees but for people who are suffering. Therefore, Kunti Devi suggests the Krishna consciousness is the medicine for your suffering. Take it and be happy. Simple. Krishna consciousness is the medicine. We have to take it and be happy. We have to follow the full prescription of the doctor, not whimsically, just the way we want to follow. Only then the medicine will work. Hare Krishna. Any comments? Any thoughts? Thoughts? All happy? Happy in Krishna consciousness. Okay. Okay, then we'll stop here. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhyo patitanam bhavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha ananta koti vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat.